Okay, so when smartphone companies are designing thin phones, they usually have to compromise on some things. Think the iPhone Air with its single camera that lacks an ultra wide lens, or how it and basically every other thin phone doesn't have great battery life. But other companies have been trying to change this perception of thin phones. Think the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus, and this is the same route that Tecno chose to take with their new Camon Slim, which has things like a 5,600 milliamp hour battery. But even with it trying to separate itself from the other thin phones in the market, it's still very similar to other thin phones. Like, look at its marketing. Familiar, right? And that's not the only thing that Tecno copied or I guess got inspiration from Apple, because there's other things like glass elements in the UI, spatial wallpapers, how its design looks very similar to an iPhone Air's, and its wallpaper looks very similar to an iPhone Air's too. One way that they probably couldn't and didn't was copy the iPhone's Air thickness, because the Camon Slim is 6.39 millimeters thick, while the iPhone Air is 5.4 millimeters thick. But my question for you is, when I show you these two pictures, which one would you say is thinner? Because I would say it's the Camon Slim, even though it's thicker. It could be something like the perspective, but it really looks thinner than the iPhone Air to me. And one way that Tecno could have differentiated their phone from the iPhone Air is by adding an ultra-wide camera, and even though that right circle black thing of the phone looks like another camera, it's actually not a camera. It's an extra flicker sensor. So sorry, no ultra-wide camera, even though I for some reason thought that this would be something that Tecno added. But Apple isn't the only company that Tecno copied or got inspiration from, because do you see that area between the camera and the flicker sensor? Well, that's what Tecno calls an AI mood light, but to me, it looks more like the Nothing Glyph Matrix. I do understand that the market is like so crowded that when you try to introduce something new or try something new, then it's basically copying another company, so it's kind of understandable. But just kind of. But also, this AI mood light is very weird because do you see this image? It looks like it shows when you're calling somebody. So, what else does this mood light show when you're doing things on the phone? And as for the last thing that Tecno copied or really got inspiration from is in the Tecno lineup. The phone I'm talking about is the Tecno Spark Slim, which was another Tecno thin phone that came in at 5.9 millimeters. Now, this phone doesn't copy or get inspiration in every way. Like, for example, its marketing looks like this, and what I want to focus on is, why does this young kid have their own phone? I'm probably not the best judge of it, but like, it's interesting. I mean, it could be their parents, but still, interesting. Or why does this dog have a phone and is dressed up like this? It might just be for fun, but still, weird. Okay, so that's not the only way that they don't copy. Like, they also have a feature that you can film better when you're underwater because the phone somehow senses that it's underwater to make it look better. But my question is, would somebody even put their super thin phone underwater? Like, it's only rated to go 2 meters down or about 6 feet, so not deep. The phone's color options are another way that this phone is very unique because there's Mondrian New, Van Gogh Blue, Burgundy Red, Jungle Green, and Prism Black. And as you could see, the only color that didn't have a design was Burgundy Red, which makes me wonder if there was a reason that they used that phone mostly for the marketing. Hmm. So my question and take on these thin phones is, why do we even have them? Like, normal phones have gotten really good and can take great pictures, are really powerful, and can just do so many different things. But when we bring thin phones into the equation, they always have to compromise on things. And this phone that we were talking about is supposed to change that narrative, but still, it also had to compromise on some things. I mean, maybe these thin phones are like early thin laptops where they're underpowered and have to compromise on some things, but now we expect a lot of laptops to be thin because we know that that's possible now. But that happening to slim phones is in the future, so let's wait and see. Oh, and speaking of the future, the price of this phone is not known yet, or not released yet, really, so Let's wait and see. So with all of that said, I'm gonna give the Tecno Camon Slim a question mark because it doesn't seem that useful compared to normal phones. Like, normal phones are already really good. So thanks so much for watching this video, and if you did enjoy this video, please consider pressing that subscribe button. It might be thicker than the phone we were talking about, but it is a good button. Bye. And that's a wrap.